What is going on, Internet? Lou here, and today is an extremely exciting day for me. And that's because I am releasing Redemption ROM ICS version 1.0 for the Samsung Galaxy Nexus. Now, this is the Toro edition. Now, as many of you know, the Android scene is just exploding. You know, the Android platform itself is growing exponentially every day, and also on a daily basis, you're seeing literally hundreds of Android enthusiast websites and forums popping up all over the place. So, as an Android user, as someone who specifically was attracted to Android because it's open source and because you can load things like custom ROMs and kernels and mods to your phone, you flock to these websites to find content. Now, on these websites, you're going to find a ton of different developers, all with different projects. Now, if you're new to Android and new to Linux, a lot of the things that you see contained in these forum threads are going to really be foreign to you. So, as a ROM developer, I take personal responsibility in trying to deliver you with the most information I can to help you make the best informed decision as to whether or not my ROM, Redemption ROM, is the right one for you. Now, and this video is exactly aimed at doing that. Now, there's very few times in life where you can say, you know what, I think I pioneered something. And, I've scoured the web and looked at a lot of different Android forums, and I haven't seen any ROM or kernel developer delivering their content through this platform, through the video platform. So it's really exciting to be able to do this, and the feedback that I've been getting on my kernel project with the video has been amazing. And so this is something I'm going to continue to do, and I'm excited to see in the future that more developers may adopt this platform to deliver information directly to the Android community and to specifically their users. So guys, again, thank you so much for those of you who follow me. Thank you so much for those of you who've used my work recently and in the past. And I'm excited today to bring you Redemption ROM for the Samsung Galaxy Nexus. So, I'm going to go over a lot of the features that are in this ROM, and I'm going to try to give you, my thoughts about each of those features and why I included them in this project. Now again, for those of you who are thinking about flashing this ROM or flashing any of my work, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because the very first thing I'm going to release for any updates or for any new releases or changes is going to be a video. So if you want really to stay on the cutting edge as to new updates for ROMs or kernels or mods, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and because that's where you're going to see those updates first. So let's get right into the features of Redemption ROM ICS version 1. So I've got my blog up here. Now again, I'm going to be posting this on Roots Wiki forum, and I've got my blog here so you guys can take a look at either one of those. But you're going to see that it is a full AOSP Toro build compiled by myself from the 4.03 source, the latest source that we have for the Android open source project. You want to see where this ROM came from, folks? I will show you. Right here. Here is all of the source code. All right. I did not start with an existing ROM. I started with code. Okay. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with how to build an Android open source project ROM from scratch, it is no quick process, okay? For those individuals out there that are developing these ROMs from the ground up, make sure to thank them. In their ROM threads, make sure to thank them, because honestly, the amount of hours that goes into a project like this, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. Okay, that includes the 2 and some odd hours it takes to download all 12 gigs of source code. That doesn't include the hour or so it takes to actually just compile the code. That doesn't take into consideration any changes to the code that you make. It doesn't take into consideration any testing that you do, or having to then go back to your source, fix code, jump back and forth. Honestly, it takes a ton of time to put these projects together. So please, thank your ROM developer, because it's a big commitment. And on that note, I'm going to thank my wife, because without her understanding of all the time I spend behind the computer to provide you guys with these projects, it wouldn't exist. So this is a sacrifice for her too. So I just want to say thank you to her for that. So let's go over some of the features here. We've got BusyBox, We've got SU and Super User. That's what provides you with root on your phone. Well, it doesn't give you root, but it allows you to run privileged processes and commands in your phone. I've got the Google Apps. I've got OI File Manager. I've got all the Verizon Wireless proprietaries there. I've got all the Verizon Wireless ringtones and alarm notifications. I got the stock Verizon Wireless boot animation installed. The kernel on this particular build right now is stock. That's because I want to start from scratch with this kernel. I really want to develop something very special. You're going to see, as this blog post is so appropriately titled, it's AOSP, it's buttery smooth, it's blazing fast, and it's highly optimized. I love adjectives, so sue me. But and it really is. This ROM is a joy to use, and it is really smooth, very fast, and I want to make sure I pair the right kernel with it. Okay, so I got the stock kernel installed on there for now. There is completely no user interface alterations whatsoever. Ice Cream Sandwich is gorgeous, just the way it is. It's finally a version of Android that I can look at and say that is beautiful. Some of my biggest problems with AOSP previously was I just thought it was much like early days in Linux. It was an ugly operating system. It wasn't really until maybe Gingerbread that I started getting warmed up to it. But really, in Ice Cream Sandwich, I said, they finally got it right, and I'm so glad they introduced all these changes they did in Ice Cream Sandwich, because up until then I preferred Sense because I thought it really brought a polish to Android that AOSP was lacking. But now, Ice Cream Sandwich has made me a believer, and I think it's perfect. The only alteration I may make in the future is I may add a battery percentage. As far as the icon is concerned, up in your top notification bar. That way you can tell how much percentage you have left in your battery. Outside of that, I'm not going to brand this phone at all. I'm going to keep it just the way it looks because, again, I think it's perfect. I don't want to mess with it whatsoever. A lot of performance optimizations I have here. I've got a GPU accelerated UI. So I've got a tweak in this ROM that allows the GPU to actually really control the UI experience, okay, which leaves the CPU to act in the background and control all your tasks, okay. So this should really prove to add a lot of performance as far as providing a really low latency UI, okay. So I've got the GPU handling the UI. I've disabled error checking. I've forced the launcher into memory. I've raised the JPEG quality to 100%. When you view JPEGs on your phone, the quality isn't 100% quality, so I've increased that to 100% so you can view those beautiful JPEGs in 100% quality. I've decreased the dialing out delay. When you open up your dialer and you begin to press the buttons, there is this really annoying, very, very slow delay. It keeps you from dialing a number very quickly. I've eliminated that. This is a feature I'm really excited about because it's a huge noticeable difference. So when you install this ROM, hopefully go to your dialer and start pressing the numbers like crazy. You're going to see it's extremely responsive. I really like that feature. Increased scrolling responsiveness. Okay, you're going to notice the difference between scrolling through home screens. I've increased that responsiveness and that speed. I've zip aligned the whole ROM to optimize RAM usage. So basically what zip aligning is you're taking an APK, and an APK basically is just a zip file. In fact, if you take an APK and you change the extension to, say, .zip if you're on Windows, or if you're even on, say, Macintosh, you can then extract it just like a zip file. So I basically took the APK and I zip aligned it, or I compressed it. Okay, I made it smaller in size. Okay, so this optimizes the RAM usage. Okay, I also tweaked Wi-Fi, the scan interval. So this is going to increase your battery life. By default, it scans on a very frequent basis Wi-Fi. It doesn't need to do that. I've tweaked that interval to provide a longer time span in between scans, so that'll hopefully save your battery life. Okay, so what is the vision of this ROM? Now that you know the features, what's the vision? Well, for those of you who are much like myself, as you can tell by my desktop here, I am on an Ubuntu-based system. I'm running GNOME Shell with no alterations. I'm a guy that really likes the stock look and feel of things. So I've kept, as far as the user interface on this ROM, completely stock because, again, it's perfect in my eyes. I don't want to change that. What you're going to get with this ROM, for those of you who like the stock feel of a ROM, that's what you're going to get with this. Only under the hood, you're going to get all of these optimizations that really take that ROM to the next level. Okay, it's like a stock ROM on steroids. Okay, that's what this ROM aims to be. That daily driver that, you know what, if you're in a business meeting, you can take out your phone and you can open up your ROM, and it's going to look professional. If you're an average everyday user, but again, you still appreciate that professional look and feel without a lot of branding, without a lot of tweaking to the UI. That's what you're going to get with this ROM. Things that you won't find with this ROM is experimental features, both on a kernel level or on a ROM level. My goal is to always strive for stability. I want this to be a daily driver. I want this to be rock solid. I want this to be the ROM that as you're trying out all these other ROMs and you say, you know what, I need to just go back to something that works. That's what I want this ROM to be. Okay, so that is kind of the vision I'm going for this ROM. This is a version 1 release. It's by no means the end of the development for this ROM. There's a lot of things now that I'm working with Source that I would love to do. So I've really created a foundation here with version 1, and I'm going to build on that and add more features as we go along. So you know, that's basically the direction I'm going and the whole vision behind this project. So for those of you again who have used Redemption ROM on other devices like the HTC Incredible or the HTC Thunderbolt, again, you know that my ROMs always strive for stability, for smoothness, for speed, and for optimized use. That's exactly what this Redemption ROM ICS also strives for, and I really think I've accomplished that. So as far as credits are concerned, I want to give a big thanks for those of you who are on the Roots Wiki forums to Peter Alfonso. He's really helped me with my transition from Sense ROMs to AOSP. He has really just been a resource to me. I've been able to have a lot of discussions with him. He's answered a ton of questions. He's really gotten me up and running very quickly, and he's also provided me with the Verizon Wireless proprietary blobs that you have in this AOSP build. And as I stated here, he's all around just a chill dude too. He's just a really cool guy, really down to earth, and so big 2 thumbs up to Pete. Thanks so much. I'm going to probably butcher this name, but Keyjar31, I want to thank you for providing me with the Google Apps and the OI file manager that's included in the ROM. Skyraider37, thank you for letting me bounce questions off of you and just going back and forth with different ideas. ChangeDD, thank you for Sue and Super User. YouTube, again, I really feel this is an excellent medium to provide you guys, the Android community, and specifically my users, with information, with updates, with new releases, with change logs, and YouTube provides that for me. So big thanks to YouTube. Big thanks to Google for providing us with an amazing open source operating system that allows me to be able to do things like this, that allows you to really get the phone that you really want to have. And we're not limited by anyone else. We can really take control of our own experience, and Google provides that to us, and they do it open source, and I think it's amazing. So I thank Google so much. Roots Wiki, last but certainly not least, Roots Wiki, for providing a place where I feel like I can call home, a place where I feel comfortable releasing my work, a place where I meet people that I could call friend. So thank you, Roots Wiki. And finally, thank all of you, my YouTube subscribers, my Twitter followers, the people who use my work. Thank you for sticking by me. You're always supportive. You're always encouraging me. You're always continually inspiring me to strive for that next level, and really you challenge me to continue to get better at what I do, not only here in my ROM and kernel projects, but in making videos to help you guys understand more about Android and more about Linux. So guys, this has been the video release for Redemption ROM 1.0 ICS for the Samsung Galaxy Nexus Toro edition. I hope you enjoyed. Guys, please do me a favor. Leave comments below in the video for here on YouTube. Also leave comments on the ROM forum thread, and let me know what you think. Your feedback is always appreciated. Now, as far as features are concerned, every time a ROM developer releases a ROM, there's always those people who say, oh, can you add this, and oh, can you add that? I've got a list of features that I know that I want to add into the future. So it's really hard when you literally have hundreds, and in many cases, some of my other ROMs, there was thousands of people using them. So it was very difficult to add all those different features. So I've got a roadmap, like I try to do for everything. I try to have a nice plan for the future of things that I want to do with this particular ROM. So your suggestions are welcomed by all means, but I can't promise that I can include all those features. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to give it a like. If you're not subscribed and you want to stay up to date with all my new releases or change logs or revisions, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And until next time, guys, I hope you enjoy, and we will see you later.